Hi, thanks again for coming right back. Right now we're about to get into some extra technologies that you can integrate. One great resource would be a WebQuest. Online you can find these. My favorite type of WebQuest is the scavenger hunt WebQuest because you allow your students to browse through different websites all at the same time, and it gives them a great sense of how to open and close different windows. Another program that your students could be working with is Prezi. A great presentational tool. You can integrate both visual images as well as dialogue or text. The only downfall to Prezi is that you can't really integrate music with it, but for pictures and text it's an awesome program. Another program to possibly integrate would be Movie Maker. You could have your students create a movie out of their comic. And the very last one would be Wix. It's a free online program, again, for creating a website. And actually the website that usaexperience.org was created with Wix. Thanks again, and hope you enjoy.
Hi there and welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to a few different ideas. A few things we'll be covering throughout this really brief session is a WebQuest, creating a presentation with Prezi, working with Movie Maker, and again working with Wix, a website created to actually create other websites. Kind of interesting. So the first thing I want to show you, here I'm simply on Google's main web browser. I came up here, I typed in scavenger WebQuest, hit search, and what I want to introduce you to is the idea of a WebQuest. It's a really interesting tool or idea, actually. Say, for example, you're studying something like Abraham Lincoln, the very first one right up here. I'd come over here, click it. This is actually something that can be printed out. So, for example, the very first question here says, what number president was Abraham Lincoln? I'd click on number president. It links me to a different page and it says Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. From here, you could simply hit the back button and it takes me right back and I'd be able to answer the question now, 16. Okay, then here, question number 2, what is he best known for doing? I'd click on best known and here it says Abraham Lincoln was a smart and honest man. He worked hard all his life. Abe helped to end slavery and keep the states together. So Abraham Lincoln was best known for ending slavery and keeping the states together. Then I'd hit back again. And you'd essentially have your students go through this. I think this idea is kind of geared towards a variety of grade levels. With WebQuests, you can truly have your students learn a lot, but I think one of the most important ideas that they're learning is how to navigate on the internet, or how to navigate themselves throughout the internet. By clicking on the words that are highlighted in blue, they're all kind of hyperlinked out to other web pages. And from here, they're able to answer these questions. Just a different idea for studying. So that really quickly was a WebQuest. Next thing I want to show you is essentially here I'm on Prezi's main webpage. It's simply www.prezi, which is spelled Prezi.com. From Prezi, what I wanted to show you real quickly is actually what a Prezi looks like. So if you take a look here on the main screen, let me kind of scroll up for you here, you'll be able to take a look at an actual Prezi. So the idea of Prezi is that it takes images and words and puts it together to create a presentation for you. Of course, you design the presentation and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to toggle through one to introduce you to the idea. This is on metaphors, so I'm just going to go through really quickly. Take a look here. Here's another one. Shakespeare. By the way, we're looking at metaphors, so this is something that Shakespeare might compare. Juliet as the sun. Juliet equals the sun. That's essentially the metaphor. Here you can see the image of the hand. The idea is in how it's presented. Over here we're getting into pattern recognition with some various patterns that can be found throughout metaphors. But the idea here isn't to focus on metaphors, it's to focus on the presentation. So simply by hitting the next button here, it takes me to the very next idea. And that's just a little bit here. The idea is to read the words, and once you get to around this point, they kind of change. So here you're saying red, blue, orange, purple, and the colors match. By the time you're here, you're saying orange when the word is written in blue, red, or excuse me, blue when the word is written in red, green when it's in red, orange when it's in green. So the idea kind of changes a little bit. Um, just again, mixing the mind and metaphor. But this is what a Prezi does. And this is an overall picture. Let me see if I can kind of zoom out here and show you the whole thing. And this is what it would look like when it ends. You can kind of drag it up or down here. All of the ideas, the smaller ideas that we were looking at, were in here in this drawing. Everything else kind of goes around it. And that is essentially the notion of a Prezi. To get started, all you have to do, it's kind of easy. I'll go to the main page for you, Prezi.com. And once you're on Prezi.com, initial thing you want to do is click sign up now. After that, I want to show you basically a few things about Prezi. When you go to sign up now, there are 3 different categories. There's public, there's enjoy, and there's pro. Here's a really cool thing for you. With the enjoy category, this category, which costs $59 per year, is actually free once you come over to the left-hand side of the screen and take a look where it says Student Teacher Licenses, and you click on Go. You'll notice that the Edu Enjoy portion is actually free. It's the same exact thing as that last one. From here, you would simply click on Get, type in an email that you may have. I'll use mine real quickly just to demonstrate at hotmail.com. Then you want to hit continue. Oh, yeah. Sorry, one thing I forgot. It needs to be associated with an educational institution. So in that case, I'll use one of my college emails. arevalo@leslie.edu. Click on continue here. After that, it kind of sends out a confirmation email. You want to click on it in your email, open it up, and then it'll basically walk you through all of the steps for logging on to Prezi. And it even gives you a brief tutorial when you get started. Okay, so we've covered a WebQuest, we've covered a Prezi. Here's the very next concept. Working with Movie Maker. Movie Maker is something that is available on most Windows-based computers. If you're working with a Mac, you'd obviously have access to iMovie, which is very similar and in some cases a little bit better. The idea here is, and actually something, a rather interesting notion, all of the videos that have been created that you may be looking at throughout this series have been created and put together with Movie Maker. So the idea was to do this at a very low cost, and this is something that students can do. It's really easy. Say you wanted to import media into, or any type of media into this program, you'd simply come up here, click on Import Media, find whatever you wanted to bring in, and here I'll bring in, of course you want to find the file and the folder and then remember where you put it. That always helps. I'll come up here, import this one, Animoto Correct. After you do that, the very next thing, all you have to do is drag it right down to where you want it to be placed. And that's essentially it. A few other cool things for you that you can do. You can add transitions simply by clicking on transitions, and from there all you have to do is drag it right into place, and now you've got a quick transition. And let me show you more or less what that looks like. Right off to the right hand side you'll see it. Let me turn up the volume.
Edit music to their liking, sounds, any actual things that they record on their own means. Thanks again.
And that transition's coming up right now. You'll be able to see it. Hey, how's it going? That was it. So just a really cool way to, I guess, make movies a little more interesting during those transitional parts. And then once you finish with this, all you have to do is simply go File, Publish Movie, and that publishes it for you and allows you to play it back. You can basically from there upload it to YouTube, which is how I've been going about this whole process, or you can put it onto a DVD or a CD, whatever you prefer there. That was a little bit about Movie Maker. Let me show you the next thing on the agenda. The next thing is an internet program or website that's called Wix. It's essentially the website name is www.wixwix.com. It's a program that essentially allows you to create a free website. Of course, if you wanted to get started, you'd simply click on Start Now. Um, from Start Now, it kind of brings you to here, tells you a little bit about the plans. I'm going to skip that portion for now and bring you right into my account and show you what Wix is about. So this is the web page that I've been working on for some time, www.usaexperience.org. After you click on it, it brings you to this where it essentially loads everything. And I guess I'll let you take a look, behind the scenes look at our main web page. And it's basically loading the program for us here. It's a Flash Player program, I believe. And it'll allow us to completely edit and revise our web page. So if you look here, this is what I'm looking at, the screen I look at when I'm working on the web page. Over here, let me explain the few parts to you real quickly. Over here, if you notice, there's the add feature. You can add text, you can add pictures, you can add galleries, you can add music and video, clip art, different page parts, widgets. If you wanted to create more of like a website that allowed you to sell something or more of a business, you'd probably have to pay for one of those plans. Also, on here you can click the different backgrounds and kind of select from there. I'll show you what some of those look like. So this is a polka dot background. And okay. Oh, sorry. I have all of the stuff on my web page locked so that I can't basically mess anything up. Let me undo the polka dot thing. Other things you can do are import files. You can add documents that are Word documents, PDFs. You can add music, pictures from your computer. There's a lot to do here, and you can create different actual pages within your website. Here's another one, maybe one that you're more familiar with is the Get Trained portion of it. And here it's pulling up 3 different videos. And this is kind of what it looks like on my end when I'm working with it. But again, a really great website for creating websites. Kind of interesting how that's worded. But again, it's free and it's a very easy program to use. It has a simple click and drop application to it. Makes it very easy for anyone to use, including students. This would be a phenomenal web page for getting students to create their own websites if you're working with a higher level of student or a higher grade level, so to say. And that was a little bit about Wix. Simply going to close that. Okay, get out of there. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for hanging in there throughout this these different ideas on how to incorporate technology within your classroom. Again, thank you very much and hope to see you soon.
Hi, thanks again for watching all of these different videos. We've covered a whole bunch of programs and how to integrate more technology within your current curriculum. All of the lessons would start off once you actually get into the lesson plan portion. The very first lesson for every program that you're using, it's basically an introduction to the program, how to go step by step in regards to certain processes that need to be done. Also, the very last portion is getting into the idea of integrating technology with daily life, which is often referred to as the idea of informating, where you take technology and you apply it to daily life problems and you come up with solutions through the use of technology. Thanks again, and I hope you've enjoyed all of these trainings. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.